Welcome to Biff's Mystery Theater. I have many tales to tell you. Ghost stories, murder stories, and tales that will make your bones chill. Join me, won't you? For Theater of the Mind, where you always have the best seat in the house. Now close your eyes and turn off the lights.
Yes, Roma wines taste better because only Roma selects from the world's greatest wine reserves for your pleasure. And now, Roma Wines, R-O-M-A. Roma Wines present Suspense.
Tonight, Roma Wines bring you Mr. Howard Da Silva in You Take Ballistics, a suspense play produced, edited, and directed for Roma Wines by William Spear.
Suspense, radio's outstanding theater of thrills, is presented for your enjoyment by Roma Wines. That's R-O-M-A, Roma Wines. Those better tasting California wines enjoyed by more Americans than any other wine. For friendly entertaining, for delightful dining. Yes, right now a glassful would be very pleasant, as Roma Wines bring you
Howard Da Silva as Homicide Lieutenant Ed Harvey in You Take Ballistics, Cornell Woolrich's remarkable study of the police mind at work, which is tonight's tale of Suspense.
By this time, it was night, pretty late. I walked down toward the apartment on the opposite side of the street like I had a dozen times before that day. This time, I had to count the doorways. I knew Cass was in the 10th one down from the corner. I knew he was there, but I knew I'd never see him. It was too dark. Cass was a lot too smart.
Hi, Lieutenant.
He made any moves yet?
Not a move.
How about the back way?
No. Peters is covering that. He'd leave us know. Anyway, you know he's still up there. Every little while you can see his shadow against the shade. There, see? Hey, look,
You got a match?
oh, sure, here. Hey, Lieutenant, did you get any orders, or do we just stick around? Myself, I think he's settling down for the night.
No. Mm-mm. This isn't getting us any place. I'm going to make the pinch. Now. Come on up with me, see what we got.
Sure. Oh, boy, that's good to stretch. My gams were killing me.
Yeah, I know. I done plenty of stakeouts myself. Anyway, it was warm tonight. That's a help.
Yeah, that's always a help. Hey, you know what I think, Lieutenant?
What?
I think that guy's waiting for something.
Or someone.
Like who?
Us.
He's wise, huh?
Smart, pretty smart. I don't like it.
Yes, sir, gents.
Coleman, Clarence Coleman, take us up.
Yes, sir.
I need a shave.
Huh? Nah, you don't look bad.
How long has he been living here? You, how long has Coleman been living here?
Oh, Mr. Coleman? 2 or 3 years. Second door
We know the way. What a dump, huh?
Hey,
No.
Lieutenant,
No,
you
no.
think
No gun. He won't give us any trouble. He's too smart. Your name, Coleman?
Yeah.
We're from headquarters.
Okay. You want to come in, or you just want to talk to me where you are?
We want to talk to you downtown, but first we want to come in.
Come on in. Nobody's stopping you.
Look around, Cat.
Yeah.
Suppose you guys got a search warrant.
I suppose you got a witness that we don't.
Go ahead, look. I just want you to know I'm not dumb, that's all.
Sure, I know. You're smart.
I was doing a crossword puzzle. You don't mind, do you?
Oh, go right ahead.
I want to get that one down before I forgot.
Cash, you find it?
No.
You own a gun?
Why, sure.
Where is it?
Tell them to look in the bottom drawer of the bureau, and they're under my winter underwear.
You hear that, Cash?
Yeah.
I got a license for it, too.
You fired it lately?
Yeah, sure thing.
I got it. Here she is, Lieutenant.
Look out, you don't rub off any prints.
I told you we're smart.
Maybe too smart.
38, one shell gun. When'd you fire it last?
Right last night. Why should I lie to you? You're going to give me the nitrate test as soon as you get me downtown anyway.
Right last night, huh? Right into Edmund Lombard's body?
Wrong. Into the floor. Here.
You got all the answers, haven't you?
Only know what I know. Can't do better than that for my own brother.
If you fired it into the floor, where's the crease?
See that little scatter rug? Just kick it aside. See it? I can do better than a crease. If you dig in with your penknife, you can probably get the slug.
Well, let's have a look.
Hey, what are you doing that for, Cass? This guy's just making a chump out of you.
Maybe, but we better have the slug just the same, Lieutenant.
All right. You, take your hands out of your pockets and get your favorite hat and start moving toward the door. You're coming with us.
There we are.
Okay by me.
You get it?
Yeah, it's a 38, all right.
Am I under arrest?
Well, if you gotta have a name for it, no. Not yet. You're just a guest of the department. For the rest of the night.
You get the works, I suppose.
Cass, take him down the stairs, will you? I want to talk to this kid on the elevator for a minute.
All right.
Hey, wait a second. You got any more of that gum?
Yeah, here. Sure, Lieutenant. There you are. Come on, you.
All right.
Come on. Let's go down here.
Yes, sir.
Got a match?
Oh, sure, I have.
A gun go off anywhere in this building last night?
Sure. His did.
Who's Coleman?
Yeah. The people downstairs telephoned me, so I had to go up there. He fired into the floor by mistake. He was plenty scared. Hey, he in trouble?
Nothing serious. Just a little thing called murder.
For Suspense, Roma Wines are bringing you Howard Da Silva in You Take Ballistics. Roma Wines' presentation tonight in radio's outstanding theater of thrills, Suspense.
Between the acts of Suspense, this is Truman Bradley for Roma Wines. Next time you buy wine, remember this. For entertaining, for everyday pleasure, more Americans enjoy Roma than any other wine. That's because Roma wine tastes better, yet costs so little. Yes, in Roma wine you enjoy an important difference, an extra goodness in fuller bouquet, richer body, and better taste. To bring you this difference, this better taste, Roma starts with California's choicest grapes. Then Roma master vintners, with America's finest winemaking resources, guide this grape treasure unhurriedly to tempting taste perfection. Later, along with Roma wines of years before, these choice cuvées await selection from the world's greatest reserves of fine wines for your pleasure. Tomorrow, enjoy the better taste of Roma California wines. Whether you prefer sherry or port, muscatel or tokay, insist on Roma wines, your best buy in good taste. Remember, R-O-M-A, Roma, the greatest name in wine.
And now Roma Wines bring back to our Hollywood soundstage Howard Da Silva as Homicide Lieutenant Ed Harvey in You Take Ballistics, a tale well calculated to keep you in suspense.
been on the force for quite a while, and I made my shares of arrests, big and small. Little punks and chiselers and big-time racket men and crazy, wild-eyed killers. I never made a pinch that looked better and that I liked less than this Coleman. We had everything. We had to make the pinch. And I knew it was going to turn sour the minute I walked into that apartment. And a sour murder rap is something, well, I personally don't care for. We didn't take him downtown. We took him over to a little precinct house up on the west side. And we didn't book him. We just tossed him in the back room and let him wait. Leffinger, my boss, got there about 10 minutes later.
You bring him in?
Yes, sir, he's in back. Here's his gun. He claims it went off into the floor last night by mistake.
Oh, beat us to the paraffin test, huh? Well, he could have framed it that way after he killed Lombard.
Yeah, he could have.
Here's a slug, Captain.
38.
Yeah.
Turn the stuff over to ballistics.
Yes, sir.
Hey, Cass.
Huh?
Give me a light, will you?
Sure. Yeah. Okay.
Yeah. Any report on the one they dug out of Lombard?
Probably on its way now. Who are these two guys?
The night elevator man that took him up to Lombard's apartment and the night counter man at the lunchroom about a half a block away.
They recognize him?
Positive.
Well, let's go to work. Sergeant.
Yes, sir?
We'll want to spring these witnesses on them. One buzz, send in the elevator man. 2 buzzes the other guy.
Okay, Captain.
You think you'll sweat?
You?
No. Hi, Coleman. Sit over there.
Sure.
Put the light on him, O'Farrell.
Yes, sir.
All right, Coleman. Suppose you tell us what you did last night.
Beginning when?
Beginning when you left your apartment.
Well, I went out about 9 o'clock. Walked over to 23rd and 7th. There's a cigar store there. I made a phone call.
Who to?
Edmund Lombard.
Oh, so you did contact Lombard?
Sure. Did I say different?
Go ahead.
You know Lombard's racket?
You tell us.
Collected bets on the nags. Only the long shots he wouldn't turn in. They never came in anyway, so who knows the difference? Only this one time, I get a tip on one that comes in. 20 to 1. Lombard can't cover. He lambs. I just catch up with him last night. On the phone, I tell him I want my dough. I tell him to meet me in an hour.
Did he meet you?
I didn't give him a chance. I went up to his place.
You went up to his place?
Sure. No percentage for me to lie. I know you got me placed up there.
So you went up to his place?
Yeah. He was already packing. Getting ready to lamb again. He kind of laughed and said, "You can't blame a guy for trying." I said, "I want my $2,000. Okay," he said. "You win." He asked me for a receipt so I can't come at him again. Fair enough. So I write one out for him in the hotel stationery.
Well, wind it up. Let's see how good you can make it.
That's all. So he begins unpacking. He figures he might just as well stay where he is now. Then I leave.
So that's how it was. Sure you didn't leave out anything?
No.
Why'd you leave out about killing him?
Because it belongs out, because I didn't.
You didn't have a gun on you when you went up there.
Oh, yeah. Sure I did.
Why'd you take a gun if you didn't plan to shoot him?
So he wouldn't pull one on me. You think a guy like Eddie Lombard's going to cough up $2,000 just like that?
Don't lie to us. When we bring you in here, we want the truth. You shot him first and collected your dough afterwards.
No.
And then you wrote out your receipt to a dead man.
No.
That's how it happened, isn't it?
No.
Answer me, isn't it?
No. No.
Cash.
Yeah, Captain.
Never mind those witnesses. He spiked them for us. Come on in here and give us a hand.
Sure.
Okay, bring him out of it.
All right, come on. Come on, will you? Get up there. Why don't we give you something to pass out about?
Now, why'd you tell him? You listening? Why'd you tell the nightman that Lombard was staying and not to bother about his luggage?
Because I was afraid he'd go up there and Lombard might think it was me again and take a shot at him.
Because he was dead in there and you wanted to get clear of the building before he was found.
If I did, I didn't go very far. I stayed in the coffee shop down the block for 15 or 20 minutes afterwards.
Look, what'd you do with the money you took off him after you killed him?
The dough he gave me. Put it in the bank first thing this morning.
Take over, Cass.
All right.
Come on, Harvey.
No. Wait till I wash my hands. You know, I need a shave.
All right.
Come on.
See you later, Cass.
Yeah, Lieutenant. All right, Coleman, come on now. Why don't you...
You know, if I'd hang around there much longer, I'd be liable to hurt him.
You see what I mean?
Yeah. How come nobody heard the shot?
People next door were out, and down below they were asleep.
You know, I don't like it. You notice how he beats us to the punch every time. We got witnesses for everything, except the killing.
Which all adds up, but we got nothing but circumstantial. Wouldn't stand up in court 5 minutes.
Yeah. Well, maybe ballistics will tie it up for us.
Yeah, maybe.
What's the matter? Don't you believe in ballistics?
Sure, but you heard the guy. He's got every other angle covered. Not going to slip up on anything as obvious as ballistics.
Don't you think he's guilty?
I think he's guilty. I went back up to Coleman's apartment. I hate this part of any job. There's always the off chance that it may turn up something, so it has to be done. But 9 times out of 10, it doesn't get you a thing. Didn't this time either. It's a lot of junk. In the living room, items, crossword puzzle he'd been working on, the pencil stub, the butt of the cigarette he'd been smoking, and the package it came out of. The bathroom, items, usual assorted stuff in the medicine cabinet, and 15 rusty razor blades under the bathtub. Kitchen, items, 3 empty beer bottles, and some very lively cockroaches of assorted sizes. The bedroom, items, a bureau full of linen, and 3 suits in the closet. One of them was the gray number he'd been wearing the night he called on Lombard. There was nothing in the pockets but a Canadian dime, a faded snapshot of a faded blonde, and a book of cigarette papers. I put the stuff from his pockets in a regulation brown envelope for no very good reason. Went back to the precinct. Heffinger was still there, biting his nails.
Did you get anything?
If I did, I don't know it. How's he doing?
How's he doing? How are we doing? Lousy.
Yeah, so far.
You're still sure of him, huh?
I was never sure of a pinch in my life.
Listen, I'm going to let it go through on circumstantial. Ballistics will be sure to match his gun to the slug that killed Lombard, and that's enough to do it without anything else.
I don't know.
Say, what are you Yeah? Yeah, this is Leffinger. Well, it's about time. Well, you knew where to reach me. I told you I was going to bring him out here. Yeah? What? Yeah. Okay. Ballistics. Coleman's gun was a .38.
I know that.
Oh, you know that. Well, then maybe you know that the slug they took out of Lombard is a .32. So now what do you know?
That does it.
Yeah, it does it all right.
No, I don't mean that. I mean he's our meat. He's the guy. You can't tell me different.
I'm not telling you different, but ballistics is. And ballistics don't lie. You setting yourself up above ballistics?
You take ballistics, I'll take human nature. That don't lie either.
If you mean he did it with a .32 and then ditched it, you're wrong, because we checked all that.
I know. I know he didn't. Otherwise, he wouldn't have shot that slug into the floor.
But the slug in the floor was a .38.
Listen, Cap. I've called on aldermen, yeah, and state representatives, but even they get a little scared when you say headquarters. But not this guy. He was waiting for us. He was calm. He was doing crossword puzzles. He was too calm. No, he's too smart. He's got everything covered. He's been ahead of us all the way. He's our guy, I tell you. He's our guy.
He's our guy. He's our guy. Well, go on out and prove it then.
All right, don't take it out on me, Cap. I feel as bad about it as you do.
Yeah, well, you're the guy with all the big ideas. Go out and do something about it.
All right, how long will you give me?
Tomorrow morning. You can't hold him forever without booking him, you know.
Tomorrow morning? What am I going to do at this time? Look, make it noon, huh? Give me a chance, anyhow.
All right, noon. And I'm stretching it for you.
Yeah, thanks, Cap.
Listen, wait a minute. You're not holding out on me, are you?
I wish I was. I don't know a thing more than you do, Cap. I just know it's got to be our way, that's all.
Yeah, gotta be.
Hey, I think I'll take another look at him before I go.
Oh, now listen, Coleman. We know you did it. Why don't you make it easy for yourself?
Make it easy for you coppers, you mean? I know you guys. Anything for a pinch. What do you care if you got the wrong guy?
All right.
Okay, Cass. You can lay off.
You got something?
Yeah, the slug that killed Lombard was a 32. His gun is a 38.
Huh?
All right, throw him in a cell. We'll probably have to turn him loose in the morning.
Morning. What's the matter with tonight?
What's the matter? Don't you like it here?
All right. But you'll have a sweet case of false arrest on your hands by morning. Remember that, copper, when you're back pounding a beat.
Oh, I won't forget. You're smart. Got a match? Go on, have a cigarette.
I got my own.
Go ahead, have one.
I wouldn't take a smoke from a copper if it was the last one before I die.
You may have a chance to prove that someday.
Yeah?
Yeah, when you go to the electric chair. Well, that sounded good, but I wasn't too sure. You know, they say every criminal makes at least one mistake. Well, I wasn't too sure of that either. All I was sure of was that he'd done it, so there had to be some way to prove it. Well, first, I went back to his apartment. I went over the joint with a fine-tooth comb. Nothing. Then I thought of that suit in the closet. I got it out. I went over it inch by inch. Turned the pockets inside out. Right there was where I found something that gave me an idea, or rather it was what I didn't find that I should have. I went out to Coleman's kitchen, I made a pot of black coffee, and I sat down to think. And the more I thought, the better I liked it. It might not mean a thing, it might not even be possible, but it was all I had, So the next stop was headquarters and the pistol range in the basement. By the time I got through, it was daylight. At 6:45, I was waiting outside that cigar store at 23rd and 7th where Coleman had made his phone call to Lombard. It was run by a little guy named Truhoff. We questioned him before, but this was different. The story wasn't open yet, but finally, after what seemed at least an hour and a half, I saw him. I saw Truhoff come puffing down the street.
Well, Lieutenant, you're the real early bird, huh?
You're late.
Late, he says. What time you want a cigar store should open? The middle of the night.
Come on, let's go inside. I want to ask you a couple of things.
More questions. Didn't you ask me already everything but my grandmother's middle name?
Yeah, I forgot that. That's why I came back.
All right. So now what?
About this Coleman. When he was in here...
Sure. He telephoned from the booth back there. How can I hear what he says from way up here?
I don't care about that now. He used to buy smokes from you, though, you said.
That's right. Every day almost.
Any particular brand?
Sure. Always the same for 2 years. These here.
Always machine-made cigarette?
Always? Why not?
What did he buy from you the night he was in here phoning?
The same. Why not?
You're sure he didn't buy these?
Wait. Yes. If I didn't see them in your hand, I would never remember. Cigarette papers. For change, he said. To cut down expenses, he said. It was the first time he ever bought them.
Did he buy any loose tobacco to go with them?
Let me see. Why, I don't think. He didn't ask me, so I figured he's got some already.
Okay. You can give me some now.
Oh, sure thing.
Hey, give me some matches, will you?
Sure. Help yourself. Say, what is it all of a sudden with you, Lieutenant? You look like you just swallowed the cat that ate the canary.
You're all right, Pop. And I'm going to fix you up.
Yeah?
Yep. To be a witness at a nice big murder trial. Free. I went back to the precinct, but Leffinger had moved him to another one, over on the east side, on account of the 24-hour detention law. That took more time to locate him, but that was one thing I had plenty of now. I was either in with what I had, or I was out. And suddenly I felt tired. I felt tired as an old dog. I tried breakfast, but that didn't help much, so I went on over to the east side. Leffinger was right on deck, cranky as ever, but I could see he was worried. We had this guy pretty nearly 48 hours, and the cops don't like to break the law any more than the next guy.
Well, where you been all night, Bright Eyes? You look like you slept on a park bench.
I didn't sleep anyplace. I've been using my brains. Why did you leave word you were going to move him?
What's the difference? His next move is out.
His next move is arraignment after what I'm going to show you.
Great. I'm just in the mood for lantern slides.
Let's have him in, huh?
Yeah, bring him in, Johnson.
Okay, Captain.
Now, look, first I want you to watch how he rolls a cigarette.
What are we doing now? Playing parlor games?
Just watch him, that's all. And remember, I found these cigarette papers in the pocket of his suit. The suit he wore the night he went to see Lombard.
Oh, I suppose he gassed him to death with cheap tobacco.
There he is, Captain.
Oh, the Rover boys. You guys woke me up just to move me to another hideout. Why don't you get wise to yourselves? You know you're going to have to book me or turn me loose sooner or later.
All right. Forget it. We're turning you loose. All we want you to do is to sign a waiver that nothing happened to you in here.
Nuts, I signed nothing.
Hey, take it easy, will you? We got the guy that did it.
Yeah?
Yeah. Got nothing to worry about. We just don't want any suits for false arrest, that's all.
Yeah, well, you took the words right out of my mouth, Copper, because my first stop after here is a lawyer.
Now, wait a minute. Let's talk this over. Smoke?
Nah, not one of them things.
Well, you smoke these, don't you?
Yeah, sure.
Here's some tobacco. Go ahead, roll one.
Thanks.
That's not the way.
I'm a little out of practice.
A little out of practice, he says. Don't look to me like he'd ever rolled one before in his life. Does it to you, Cap?
All right, so send me to the chair for that.
Just the same, he bought these cigarette papers the night he went to see Lombard at the cigar store where he bought all his smokes. First time in 2 years he ever bought any. I know tobacco to go with them. And not a shred of loose tobacco in any of his pockets. Now, why do you suppose he bought those cigarette papers that night, huh?
You're telling it. I'm listening.
Are you listening, Coleman?
You're talking in your sleep.
I'll tell you why he bought them. Better than that, I'll show you why. Let me have your gun a minute, will you, Cap?
Yeah, sure.
That's 38, right?
Yeah.
Same caliber as Coleman's gun?
Right.
All right. Now, here's a 32 caliber bullet. The same caliber as the slug that killed Lombard. Do you want to see it?
I know a 32 when I see it.
All right. Now, we take the 38 bullets out of your gun. Now we take this 32 bullet and about 3 of these cigarette papers. We double them over. We wrap them around the bullet. See? See how snug the 32 fits in your 38 gun now?
Well, I'll be a monk.
Now watch. Now watch how a 38 gun will fire a 32 bullet. I'll put it in the baseboard over there. That's ballistics, Cap. How do you like it?
Ballistics. Ballistics?
You take ballistics, I'll take human nature every time. 3 months later, Coleman went to the chair. Whether he took a cigarette from a copper or not before he died, I don't know. And I don't care.
Suspense.
Presented by Roma Wines, R-O-M-A. Roma, America's favorite wines. This is Truman Bradley, bringing back to our microphone the star of tonight's suspense play, Howard Da Silva. My compliments, Howard, on a grand performance. Say, tell me, how did you like being on the side of Law and Order for a change? On the screen, I've seen you as a pretty tough character.
Truman, I much prefer to be law-abiding. It makes me more popular with my friends.
Well, here's something, Howard, that will make you even more popular with your guests. A gift basket of Roma wines. From Roma, your host of the evening.
My thanks to Roma, Truman. This is my idea of real hospitality.
That's what your friends will say, Howard, when you treat them to the golden amber, fragrant Roma California sherry in your gift basket. For Roma sherry, with its tempting nut-like taste, is the perfect first call for dinner, and served with nuts, fruit, cake, or any tasty snack. Roma sherry is a truly delightful wine for entertaining any time.
Right, Truman. Roma sherry is certainly a versatile wine.
Versatile is the word for Roma sherry, Howard, and extra good, too. For Roma sherry, like all Roma wines, gives you an important difference, an extra goodness in fuller bouquet, richer body, and better taste. And the best proof I can give you that Roma wines taste better is the fact that more Americans enjoy Roma than any other wine.
Well, that's proof enough for me, Truman. And now who's on Suspense next week?
Well, Howard, it's Claude Rains.
My favorite actor.
Yes, Claude Rains in a very unusual suspense story. Mr. Rains will be entirely alone, no other member of the cast. A real solo performance. The story will be a famous English study in terror, The Waxwork. And you'll want to hear what it feels like to spend the night in a museum haunted by the spirits of famous murderers of the past.
That I've got to listen to. Thank you and good night.
Howard Da Silva appeared through the courtesy of Paramount Pictures and is currently being seen in their production Blaze of Noon. Tonight's suspense play was written by Robert Richards from the story by Cornell Woolrich. Next Thursday, same time, you will hear Mr. Claude Rains as star of Suspense.
Produced and directed by William Spear for the Roma Wine Company of Fresno, California. Buy your share of Easter happiness. Bring new life and hope to crippled children through Easter seals. Buy Easter seals today. This is CBS, the Columbia Broadcasting System.
Yes, Roma wines taste better. Better because only Roma selects from the world's greatest wine reserves for your pleasure. And now, Roma Wines, R-O-M-A. Roma Wines present Suspense.
Tonight, Roma Wines bring you Mr. Hume Cronin in Make Mad the Guilty, a suspense play produced, edited, and directed for Roma Wines by William Spear.
Suspense, radio's outstanding theater of thrills, is presented for your enjoyment by Roma Wines. That's R-O-M-A. Roma Wines. Those better-tasting California wines enjoyed by more Americans than any other wine in the world. And tonight, Roma has great news for you. Big money-saving news that will let you serve Roma wine more often without increasing your budget for friendly entertaining for delightful everyday dining. Now, Roma Wines bring you Hume Cronin in a remarkable tale of suspense.
Bert.
Yes, my dear.
Well, have you found anything?
I'm looking, my dear. Of
On the theatrical page, I suppose.
course, my dear.
Looking. You've been doing that kind of looking for 6 months. Give me that paper. Bet I'll find your job in about 6 minutes.
Yes, my dear. It is true that the theatrical season, particularly in San Francisco, particularly for Shakespearean actors, was inclined to be sluggish. And it is true that I had never had the great leading roles. Hamlet, Othello, Lear. Although my success in supporting parts amongst amateur groups had been little short of dazzling. It is also true that these successes were of some 15 seasons past. Still, the talent of your true artist is not to be thwarted or denied. But this was a matter which I had never properly succeeded in demonstrating to my wife, Elizabeth. Until at last, perforce, I was persuaded that the poor creature's life was dominated by only the most mercenary considerations.
Face it, little man. You were washed up as an actor before you started. You've just been looking in the wrong part of this paper.
Merciful heavens, desist! Have I not, in deference to your penurious concern, found you a boarder? Young Longstreet?
Him.
A sublime specimen of lusty manhood.
Don't try to change the subject.
Yes, my dear.
Oh, hey, here's something. Listen to this.
Yes, my dear.
A man with personality, poise, presence to appear before the public must be able to dress and act the part of impeccable good taste. What do you think of that?
Why, sounds most promising.
All right, little man, the job is practically yours.
What is the nature of the position?
Floor walker at Burdock's department store.
Floor walker? My dear, that's impossible.
Listen, I'm through supporting you as of today, understand?
Yes, my dear, but then...
And you'll take the job and like it.
Yes, my dear. With deep misgivings, I accepted the position. Nevertheless, I carried my role with dignity, undismayed by the tittering clerks who found in my wing collar a curious novelty. Months passed. Uncomplainingly, I bore the yoke of my disgrace. But the strain of long hours began to tax my strength. One day I was feeling particularly unwell. I left the store early and picked up my car in the parking lot. My only thought was to reach the haven of our modest residence on the opposite side of San Francisco Bay, but even driving was an effort. I was faint by the time I reached the checking station on the approach to the Golden Gate Bridge.
Hi, Mr. Matthews. Hey, you're early today. Hey, what's the matter? You look
It's my head again. Probably migraine.
Oh, here's your change. You know, you ought to take better care of yourself, Mr. Matthews. Now, if I was
Yes,
you...
I'll be all right.
Diet's the thing, Mr. Matthews. Now, they say if you eat more...
As I drove slowly across the great high span of the bridge and on through the Marin County hills, I knew, by some sixth sense perhaps, that this would be the day. The discovery. Elizabeth, my wife, and our boarder, young Longstreet. A broad-shouldered, athletic nitwit. A swimming beach idol. I was returning early, you understand, and unexpectedly. Cautiously, I avoided the flagstone walk. On the soft lawn, my footsteps were noiseless. Quietly, I crossed the porch. I threw open the door. Sure enough, suitcases packed for flight stood ready on the floor.
Bert, you...
Now, Mr. Matthews,
Oh, shame! Oh, despair!
Oh, nuts. Don't look so shocked. What did you expect?
This is my burden of grief, my cross to bear. Oh, shame, where is thy blush?
Come down off your high horse, Bert. You wanted to get rid of me, didn't you? Well, I'm leaving. If you don't like it, you know what you can do.
In silence, I have suffered your petty deceptions, your taunts, your gross vulgarities. But now, at long last, the worm turns.
Bert, put down that gun.
Hey, hold on a minute, Mr. Matthews.
My heart has turned to stone.
Bert, you're ridiculous. Don't make me laugh.
Ridiculous? On the contrary, my dear wife, I am, for the first time in 15 years, a man.
Now listen, Mr. Matthews.
Look at him. Always the tragic actor, the great tragedian. You're positively silly with that revolver trembling in your hand. Give it to me.
Keep your distance. I warn you.
Now look here, Mr. Matthews. Betty and I have got...
Don't worry, handsome. The little man won't shoot. I know him too well. Now give me that gun.
I warned you.
I said give me that gun.
Oh, that you had 40,000 lives. One is too poor, too weak for my revenge.
Hit him, handsome. Well, we're on our way. Bring the suitcases, handsome.
Shall I hit him again, Betty?
Oh, the little man won't bother us anymore.
Oh, just one. For luck, huh?
Suit yourself.
Yeah. To remember me. Bye.
No. Be seeing you, little man.
Wait.
So long, Matthews. Don't take any wooden nickels, huh?
Elizabeth, wait.
What for? We've got places to go.
Please, Elizabeth. I am the vanquished. It is I who must go. Pride compels it. I shall go far away. Disappear, vanish from your life forever.
He's nuts.
Quiet. What's this you're trying to say, Bert? You're offering to disappear? Vanish, scrap?
Precisely.
Put down the suitcases, handsome. The little man has something up his sleeve.
Sit on the floor, worm. And remember, we haven't got all day to talk.
Please understand, dear wife. In my disappearance, in my seeming death, if you will, there are certain advantages to be derived for all concerned.
I'm listening.
My life insurance policy, for instance. $20,000. Not an inconsiderable sum.
Say, I'd forgotten about that.
Yes, but softly, dear wife, softly, let me finish. I was thinking rather of other advantages you would derive. My sudden death, presumptive, of course, would give you freedom to marry your healthy milkweed, this handsome nonentity.
Hey, watch yourself, Matthews. I don't like that stuff.
My deepest apologies, handsome.
Oh.
Now, Elizabeth is the subject of the insurance. Even in my far-off oblivion, I'll have need of money. I thought perhaps you would collect the money and...
And what?
Forward it to me.
Oh, so that's it. You're not the fool I thought you were.
There are mutual advantages, as I have indicated. I would have the $20,000, a trifling reward for my sacrifice. You would have a well-furnished home and handsome.
Maybe you've got something. Let me think it over.
I don't get it at all.
You will, handsome. You will. Elizabeth agreed, as I knew she would. She was, in fact, delighted. Longstreet gave us brief pause, but in the end, my charming wife persuaded him. Due to early training in the theater, the strategy of my demise was masterful. After 3 days' rehearsal with my two accomplices, I drove to the checking station of the Golden Gate Bridge. I was careful to enter the gate manned by my acquaintance.
How you feeling today, Mr. Matthews?
I protest, sir, with emphatic emphasis.
I don't get you.
This toll levy upon the use of a public thoroughfare, by my conscience, it's unsocial, immoral, a downright swindle.
Hey, what's got into you? Come on, pay your fare.
I know you not, magpie.
Huh?
Are you carrion?
Who, me?
Are you fowl, flesh, or fish? Here, vulture, your pound of flesh.
Hey, look, Mr. Matthews. Hey, you better see a doctor.
liked her indeed. But the fellow would remember me. I drove slowly, watching in the rearview mirror. Near the center of the great bridge, high above the foaming sea, Longstreet and Elizabeth pulled in behind me. A break came in the traffic. I signaled Longstreet. He pulled his car alongside mine. Quickly, I leaped to his car, leaving mine abandoned at the very center of the bridge. The abandoned car, the suicide note I'd left on the seat, would bear mute testimony to my tragic fate. And by my conscience, the word of the fellow at the checking station would tip the scales. There remained but to vanish from the eyes of all who'd known me, and my desperate deed was done. Elizabeth and Longstreet drove me to Sacramento. I boarded the train for Mexico. The frail, meek little floor walker was no more. I was dead. Gone. Kaput. Presumptive death, indeed. In truth, I was reborn. And on some not too distant tomorrow, I would return, and the lives of Elizabeth and Handsome would be forfeit.
For Suspense, Roma Wines are bringing you Hume Cronin in Make Mad the Guilty. Roma Wines' presentation tonight in radio's outstanding theater of thrills, Suspense.
Between the acts of Suspense, this is Truman Bradley for Roma Wines. There's a big reason why more Americans enjoy Roma than any other wines. It's because Roma gives you an extra pleasure dividend in fuller bouquet, richer body, and better taste. And Roma gives you still another extra dividend. Now you can buy Roma wine at handsome savings. Now you can enjoy the delicious taste luxury of your favorite Roma wines and get extra change from a single dollar bill. Yes, you can now save up to 20% on finer tasting Roma wines. Take advantage of these big Roma savings. Buy Roma by the case. Enjoy delicious Roma wine more often with meals or when you entertain, and save money on every bottle. Ask for Roma, R-O-M-A, Roma wines, for extra good taste and extra cash savings.
And now, Roma Wines bring back to our Hollywood soundstage Hume Cronin in Make Mad the Guilty, a tale well calculated to keep you in suspense.
Yes, the frail and meek little floor walker was no more. In Mexico, a new man wore my shoes. I became a man of purpose and daring. Through the art of makeup and disguise, I gave myself a villainous and frightful appearance, corresponding to my new character. I returned boldly to San Francisco with no fear of recognition. Thus was I privileged to read in the local papers of my own suicide and later of my wife's marriage to young Longstreet. Weeks passed. I learned Elizabeth had received the insurance money. I was well aware, of course, that she had no intention of giving me any part of it. The moment of final settlement had arrived. Late at night, as befits one returning from the grave, I rang the bell at the cottage I once called home.
Oh!
It is I, your lately deceased husband.
Bert, you handsome.
May the dead enter with the quick? Permit me to force my entry.
Handsome!
On my word, you're frightened.
Well, that ridiculous makeup you have on. Why do you have to go around like a scarecrow frightening people?
Hey, what goes on here?
Hurry, Bert's here.
Ah, handsome. In nightshirt and armed with a kitchen knife. An heroic figure, to be sure.
Matthews. Gosh, your face.
The face of Lazarus, risen from the dead, transformed by the chemistry of death.
Don't be funny, Bert. What do you want?
The insurance money. $20,000. Are you surprised?
Oh, you hadn't ought to come back, Matthews.
A bargain is a bargain.
Here's all the money I have in the house. Take it. Now, will you go?
May I repeat, a bargain is a bargain.
Oh, stand there, stupid. What are you waiting for?
Well, what do you want me to do, Benny? Shall I...
The knife gleams in the hand of the shirt-tail killer.
Hit him, handsome.
Now, Matthews, I mean,
You've observed this automatic in my hand. Also observe as I remove the safety catch. I see your face grows pale.
Now, wait a minute, Bert. What do you want?
Dear me, hadn't I made that clear? I thought I had. I want my $20,000.
Now listen, Matthews, take it easy. We only collected it yesterday.
Precisely. Hence my timely arrival this evening. Well?
Bert, I can't give it to you. Tonight, I haven't got it.
You forget, my dear, that I have lived with you in apparent connubial bliss for nearly 15 years. I know your habits all too well. I would venture to say that not only have you the money in cash, but that I know where you've hidden it.
Oh, no. I know she didn't do that.
No? And what is this?
So you did. Why,
I could have told you that she wasn't to be trusted. Dear me, you have so much to learn, handsome. And so little time to learn.
No, Matthews, wait.
Bert! Bert, you killed him!
Not I, dear wife. I, as you remember, have no existence. I am dead. But you...
Bert!
Good night. Parting is such sweet sorrow. Would I could stay to see you explain this whole thing to the police when it be morrow? Perhaps you see it now, eh? Perhaps now you fully understand the sweep and majesty and genius of it. For you must know I had planned it. Yes, planned it every step of the way from the day I introduced Elizabeth to Longstreet until the poor wretch was found hovering over his corpse. Had ever a man played and conceived so magnificent a role, and in no tawdry theater for the make-believe, but in the vast arena of life itself, there was but one thing lacking. That one ingredient so essential to the full savoring by the artist of his creative genius. An audience. And even that I had foreseen. I had my audience ready-made. Elizabeth. Elizabeth should be my audience. Her frantic protestations of innocence, her unbelieved cries and lamentations at the ingenuity of my plot would be meat and drink and the very breath of life to me. By a slight alteration of my appearance, I was able to attend her trial. Like a spectator at my own play, I could not have directed the performance better
and
myself.
Then this remarkable woman, with the murder weapon still figuratively reeking in her hand, has the temerity to tell this court and this jury that the crime was committed by a former husband who conveniently rose from the dead and then disappeared once more into limbo. No, ladies and gentlemen of the jury. She is guilty, and the state asks that you find her guilty, with full knowledge and consent to the penalty with which that guilt entails. The penalty of death.
No, he's alive! He's alive!
Now, ladies and gentlemen of the jury, have you reached a verdict?
We have.
I'll find you, the defendant, Elizabeth Longstreet, guilty or not guilty.
Guilty.
Dispatch this wire, please.
All right. Mrs. Elizabeth Longstreet, death row. Oh.
You can deliver it, can you not?
Oh, sure. You have a rendezvous with death. From the depths of experience can assure you he is by no means an unfriendly companion.
Unfriendly?
Oh, unfriendly companion. Heartfelt sympathy, courage. 39 words. Let's see, that'll be 78 cents out of the dollar. Thank you. Really is sad when you come to think of it. I guess you were a friend of hers, huh?
In a sense, to be sure. Yes, in a sense.
Oh, wait a minute. You didn't sign it.
Just sign it, Little Man. The next day, I eagerly scanned the papers for the outburst that this sensational communication must certainly cause. But there was nothing. So I sent a letter, something a little more direct. I scanned the press anew. But still no sign. No single word to tell me how she had received it. What was it? A conspiracy of silence? I was like a player performing to a cold and empty house. Clearly, some stronger medicine was needed.
Yes, sir?
Ah, lilies. The symbol of purity and death.
They are lovely, aren't they? Fresh cut this morning,
Sweet
too.
poetry of flowers. A most delicate yet firm reminder of my unwavering concern.
Do you wish to make a purchase, sir, or...
decidedly. Give me all you have. I wish them sent by special messenger. The season is propitious.
Yes, sir. Where to, sir?
To Mrs. Elizabeth Longstreet, Tehachapi Prison, the death house.
Mrs. Elizabeth?
And would you mind writing a card? As you can see, my right hand has suffered a slight injury.
Very well, sir. What do you wish me to write?
Just say, from the little man who wasn't there. And sign it, Bert. My own name, you see. That surely would bring results. But no, nothing. Once again, nothing. I saw it now. She was playing with me, deliberately playing with me, concealing my communications from her jailers. And my time was running out. The execution was within the week. But I would move her. I'd move her in such wise as she would drown the stage with tears and cleave the general ear with horrid speech, make mad the guilty.
Okay, next.
It's my understanding that the state law requires the presence of witnesses to a prison execution. I therefore request...
Okay, who do you want to see go?
Mrs. Elizabeth Longstreet.
Let me see. That's Friday morning. What's your name?
Bertram Mason.
Let me see some identification. Driver license, anything you got.
Identification?
Yeah, anything at all.
Well, you see, I'm not...
I'm sorry, Bud. We got to know who we invite to these parties some other time.
Hold on, sir. I demand
I
that
said some other time. Now beat it. You hear me?
She was slipping from my grasp, don't you see? The curtain was already beginning to descend. And still there was no audience to hear my curtain lies. That night I paced the streets in a torment of indecision. Then, as dawn was breaking, I realized what I must do. A drastic, desperate measure. But I must take it. The execution was the following morning, and at the earliest moment I presented myself at the prison gate.
Yeah? What can I do for you?
It's imperative, absolutely imperative, that I be present at the execution of Elizabeth Longstreet.
I'm sorry, mister.
Now, wait. You don't understand.
Can't be done. Oh, if you was a relative, say...
That's it. That's what I'm trying to tell you. I am. I am related.
Yeah? Well, that might be different. How are you related to her?
I am her husband.
Her husband? Oh. Now, don't try to get funny, mister. It just so happens she murdered her husband.
No, not him. Her former husband. The man whose name was mentioned so often at the trial. They thought I was dead, but I'm not. I'm Bert Matthews.
Oh, a crackpot. Now, save it for a soapbox, brother.
No, now, wait. I can prove it. She will recognize
Sure,
me.
I know. Now, run along.
I implore you. I beg you, call the warden. Tell him that there's a man here... What was that?
Not now she won't recognize you.
What do you mean?
I mean, that's it. It's all over. Finished.
Oh, no. Not dead.
That's right, brother. He's dead.
Suddenly my life was empty, and all my plans of triumph were as ashes in my mouth. Hers had been the triumph, not mine. Hers the tragic spectacle, hers the hour upon the stage. Now, in truth, was I really dead? For who now would applaud my artistry? Who would believe my tale or even recognize my face? Only tragedy and death gain recognition. Yes. And therein was my answer. Therein at last would I breach the portals of undying fame, leaving behind me a manuscript setting forth the facts in full detail. I would actually die. The first man in history to die and come to life, and die again since Lazarus. I searched the streets until I found a car with the keys in the ignition lock. I stole it. I drove to the Golden Gate Bridge, for I would not only die twice, I would die twice in the same place and the same way. I drove past the gateman and on.
Hey, wait!
On to the very highest part of the parapet. I would stand while horrified onlookers gazed helplessly. Then, as eager hands reached out to save my life, I would leap. I was dimly conscious of the siren behind me, but paid no heed. I drove faster to my splendid doom. Suddenly I heard a shot, then another. My car was out of control, swerving, lurching, whirling like a crazy thing. I think for a moment I lost consciousness. And when next I knew what I was doing, I had crawled from the wreckage and was staggering towards the railing of the bridge. And I was being pursued. Even now, at this late hour, some monstrous fate seemed bent on thwarting my design.
Stop! We'll shoot.
No, they would not stop me. I would not be thwarted. I staggered on. Searing pain in my shoulder. I fell. I struggled to my feet again. The railing was almost within my grasp. The shot, that rending, tearing agony of the bullet through my chest. I was on my knees again. But I must. I clawed at the steel railing painfully lifting myself up. For a moment I balanced, swaying, and then oblivion. I heard their voices coming to me from a long way off, like voices of the dead.
Stand back. What? This guy's Playboy Evans.
The same license number.
Well, I wonder why he ran.
Yeah, it's tough, and he looks like such a harmless little guy.
Please, is there no one to believe me? Just one. The lowliest of men, the tiniest of lisping children. Just one. Before this stage is dark. Before I shuffle off this mortal coil. Before I die.
Suspense. Presented by Roma Wines. R-O-M-A. Roma. America's favorite wines. This is Truman Bradley inviting you to try Roma Wines. To learn for yourself why more Americans enjoy Roma than any other wine. It's because only Roma selects from the world's greatest reserves of fine wines to bring you better tasting wines. And now, you and your friends can enjoy delightful Roma wines more often because Roma prices have been reduced as much as 20%. So make a note tonight to stock up on Roma wines tomorrow. Take advantage of Roma's new low prices to enjoy more of Roma's premium quality. Ask for Roma, R-O-M-A, the greatest name in wine and your best buy in good taste.
This is Hume Cronin. It's been a great pleasure appearing for you on Suspense. I hope you enjoyed it as much as I did. And I know you'd like to hear about next week's Suspense show when Roma Wines will bring you June Havoc in the story of a girl whose fatal resemblance to a famous movie star leads to murder. I'll see you soon, I hope. Thank you. Good night.
Hume Cronin appeared by arrangement with Metro-Goldwyn-Mayer, producers of Living in a Big Way, starring Gene Kelly and Marie McDonald. Tonight's Suspense play was by Irving Moore and Robert Richards from an original story by Robert Royston. Next Thursday, same time, you will hear Miss June Havoc as star of Suspense. Produced and directed by William Spear for the Roma Wine Company of Fresno, California.
Suspense. And the producer of radio's outstanding theater of thrills, the master of mystery and adventure, William N. Robeson.
It is relatively easy to tell a tale of terror and suspense against an exotic, faraway background. India, say, with its dacoits and fakirs. Or China, with its death of 1,000 exquisite tortures. Or Paris, with its apache sleeping under the bridges. Since few of us have ever been there, the author, who probably hasn't been there either, can speak freely. But it is an infinitely more difficult task to take the everyday environment with which we are all familiar and tell against it a tale of terror that could happen to any one of us. Such a task has been brilliantly accomplished by Arthur Zaguris in the story of suspense you are about to hear. Listen then as Skip Homeyer stars in Subway Stop, which begins in exactly 1 minute.
What are some of the symbols for heroism? One outstanding example is a cross of bronze with the design of a four-bladed propeller superimposed. In the background is a chased square. This is the Distinguished Flying Cross, authorized by Act of Congress in July 1926, and the only identical medal awarded under similar conditions by both the Army and Navy departments. This coveted decoration is suspended from a plain, straight link attached to a blue ribbon with vertical white stripes on each side and a narrow center stripe of red bordered with white. It is awarded for heroism or extraordinary achievement while participating in aerial flight. Among the famous men receiving this outstanding symbol have been Captain Charles A. Lindbergh and Admiral Richard E. Byrd. The Distinguished Flying Cross is a proud award bestowed by a grateful nation on those dedicated men and women who serve gallantly and with extra measure. It is a goal worth attaining and a prize worth cherishing.
And now, Subway Stop, starring Skip Homeyer, a tale well calculated to keep you in suspense. The party, if you could call it that, was strictly stag. Just a bunch of guys I'd gone to college with. Everybody in old clothes wearing a weekend stubble. Sort of a bull session with booze. And even though we all had to go to work the next morning, it was past 3 o'clock when we broke up. Mike and John walked me down the empty street to the subway station. The city's strange in the middle of the night. Strange and unreal. It seemed to belong to the tipsy three of us. Its streets empty, save for a couple of characters standing at the corner. The stoplights blinking in automated precision, controlling the traffic that wasn't there. Hold it, you guys.
What? What's the matter?
Hey, what's happened to the elevated? It's missing. Somebody's stolen it.
Yeah?
Yeah.
All right, who stole the L? Come on, own up. Who stole it?
Hey, didn't you guys hear? The L's gone on the ground.
What, are they ashamed of it?
Yeah, I guess so.
Oh, the poor old L. Oh.
Hey, how do I get my train?
You dig a hole.
You do?
Yeah.
Where?
Right here, next to this lamppost. Move aside, Sonny.
Hey, watch who you're pushing, fatso.
Sorry, I didn't mean to push you, Pimples.
Wise guy, huh? Tell him, Goober. I'll tell him, Din.
You better get on your way, Sonny, before I turn you in. There's a curfew against you teenagers been out this late.
You boys better go on home.
Who asked you, Pops? Yeah.
You punks better blow.
Well, you keep out of this, banana nose.
Who you call? Come on, get up. I can drop you again.
Take it easy, Don. Don't you see the little boys are tired of playing with the big boys?
You gonna take that, Goober? Shut up, Din. Let's go.
Kids, they like to act tough, but they're not really. You know, I was the same way.
Well, what makes you think you've changed?
You're right. I guess I haven't changed. I'm just an older teenager, that's all.
Uh-oh. Hey, look what's heading right for us.
Oh, tonight ain't our night.
Say, any of you fellas care to help a guy out?
You hit the wrong guys.
Yeah, we're flat, too. We were going to ask you for a dime.
Please.
Go on, beat it.
Please.
You heard my father. Scram.
Anything would help, a nickel, a dime.
How much wine can you buy for a
I
dime?
ain't gonna spend it on wine, honest.
Come off it. Take off.
Oh, stop picking on him, Mike. Here, maybe I got some change. See, I got 62 cents left after that last poker hand. I need 15 cents for the subway and 15 for the bus. That leaves 32 cents. Oh, 32 cents help you?
Thanks, mister, thanks. And God bless you.
Boy, those winos hit you every second in this neighborhood.
The neighborhood's changing. It's going downhill.
Is this where I catch my train?
Yep. Downstairs.
Okay. I better take off.
You come over my place on Tuesday, right?
Sure, Johnny. Oh, listen, thanks for the party. I had a great time.
Okay, we'll see you Tuesday.
Yeah, we'll see you.
Who? Hey, you stairs keep still. Oh, the subway's coming. I better hurry. Let me have a token.
How many?
1. Oh, just a second. I can't find my money.
How many?
I told you.
Fair, please.
Here you are. Hey, hold it! Hey, hold it! Oh, nuts. Hey, lady, thanks a lot.
You're welcome.
Maybe it was the stale smell of the subway, or the excitement of the near fight. Maybe it was all I'd had to drink. The men's room was located at the dimly lit far end of the platform. I ran to it. Afterwards, I felt better. I was washing the bad taste out of my mouth when the door opened. I turned, and there were the 2 teenagers.
Hold it, Pops.
Hey, get away from the door.
Just step back, Pops.
You ain't going nowhere.
What do you want?
Are you listening to the little man, Den?
I'm listening.
Don't sound so tough, does he?
He ain't got the big boys around.
And he needs the big boys. Don't you, Pops?
He needs them.
'Cause he's a small one, ain't you, little Pops?
Yeah, little Pops.
He's a small one.
Real small.
Like as not, I could break him up myself.
Easy.
Like as not, you could too, huh, Den?
Easy.
Look, I'm not asking for trouble, but if you guys want it...
You gonna give me a hard time, Pops?
Get him, Goob.
I'll get him. I've been choked, huh, Pops? See this, Pops? Right here, under your eyeball. That's right. That's a knife.
Use it, Gooba. Cut him up a little.
Look at him, Den. Old Pops is a sweating and a sweating.
Go, man, go.
Yeah, man, yeah.
Look out, Gooba.
Oh, you hit me, will you? Get his arm, Den. For cripe's sake, get his arm.
Yeah.
There. Now. Once upon a time, Pops, there was this little boy, and he didn't like his pops. Because his pop spoke bad like. And old Goober didn't like that. Come on, Den, come on, get in. No, man, don't use your feet. That ain't kosher. Use your knee.
In a moment, we continue with the second act of Suspense.
Another visit with Joe and Daphne Forsythe.
Hey, honey, I'm home. Daphne.
Drop dead.
Uh-oh, what's the matter, honey?
Don't you speak to me, you Don Juan.
Don Juan? Daphne, I'm no Don Juan. No habla español.
Very funny. Ha, ha, ha.
Well, it was no prize winner, but...
Neither are you Lothario.
I've often wondered, what's a Lothario?
I don't know, but that's what the wives on TV always call their husbands. I guess it applies.
Do you want me to go out and come in again?
As far as I'm concerned, you can go for a long walk, preferably on a short pier.
Well. Oh, come on, Daphne, what's wrong?
Your good friend Harry called, and he spilled the beans.
Which beans?
He said, quote, "Tell Joe he was right about those blondes. They're great," unquote.
Blondes?
That's what he said. Well?
He didn't say blondes. He said bonds. Savings bonds.
What?
Sure, I buy 'em on the payroll savings plan. And I told Harry he ought to do it, too. Savings bonds have a guaranteed interest that pays back $4 for every 3, which is a pretty good investment.
That's a pretty good story, too.
It's true, so help me. That's why Harry's so happy. Savings bonds are great.
Well, maybe you're right. You wouldn't really fool around with blondes, would you? You're too faithful and sweet and kind and...
Fast talking.
And now, starring Skip Homeyer, Act 2 of Subway Stop.
It was quiet for a long time. I knew I was lying on the floor of the men's room in the subway. I couldn't remember why or how I got there. And far off, as if in a well, I heard a voice.
Ooh, looky what we got here. What's the matter, son?
Help.
Oh, what's wrong? You had too much. Oh, it's too bad. Let's just look for your wallet, huh? See if we find out where you live, son. No money. Now, that's not so good, son. Now, here, let's just turn you over.
No!
No, let's see. See, nothing in that pocket. Cigarette lighter. Cigarettes. Half back. Oh, you smoke too much, son. I'll just keep these. Now, let's see what's in the other pocket.
No!
Now, what's the matter, son? I ain't going to hurt you. Let's see. 15 cents. I'm kind of disappointed in you, boy, but that watch might make up for it. Let's see it. Do you mind if I take it off here? Hey, good. Thank you. Oh, here comes my train, son, but before I leave, a piece of advice for you. Don't drink. It ain't good for you, son.
Help! Help!
It was a long time before I came to. I was awakened by the stench of the room and the cold stab of the floor. I had to get up. I had to get out of that room. Somehow I pulled myself up and staggered to the door. I opened it. As I did, I could feel sharp, shooting pains cut across my abdomen. I couldn't breathe. Each breath was like a jab, a cutting jab in the ribs. I realized I was badly hurt. I should keep still. I knew if I stayed in that room, I'd die. The platform was empty, completely empty. I leaned against the wall, waiting for someone to help me. I heard the subway train coming. People would be getting off. They'd help. Slowly pulled myself toward the center of the platform. Help. Mister, help me.
Huh?
Mister, please.
I ain't got any money. Go on, beat it.
Mister.
Go on, beat it before I call a cop.
No.
What do you mean, no?
No, don't grab me. I'm hurt.
Huh? Yeah, well, you better take care of yourself. Look, I gotta go. Sorry, buddy. I gotta get home.
I supported myself against the cold tiled wall. I made my way to the cashier's cage. She couldn't see me because the windows were dusty and clouded with grime. I tried to shout, but I couldn't. I tapped on the window. I tapped for a long time before she noticed me.
Huh? What do you want?
Help.
I can't hear a word you're saying. Come over here by the turnstile.
Help, please.
Oh, it's you again. What are you bothering me for?
Please.
Speak up, you're mumbling. Too drunk to answer, huh? Look, mister, if you don't want nothing, don't block the way. Did you hear me? Get out of the way. Yes, ma'am. How many?
2, please.
Oh, please help me.
Hey, what's the matter with him?
Drunk.
Looks funny hanging over the turnstile like that.
I ought to call a cop, I guess.
Say, look at the blood at his lip.
Yeah, he fell down probably.
You sure? He looks hurt.
I wouldn't go near him.
I'm used to his kind. You should see the place I work in.
I'll bet.
Hey, mister. Hey, you hurt?
Hey,
Hey, you don't sound good. Maybe you should call a cop.
I don't want no trouble. As long as he don't make trouble for me, I won't make no trouble for him.
Yeah, but don't you understand? This guy's hurt bad.
Nothing ever happens to those kind of guys.
Oh, here comes my train. Maybe you should call a doctor, lady.
What, for that bum? Don't be silly.
Can't find any wallet, no identification.
I told you, just a bum.
Yeah. Well, still, you might call a doctor or something.
Watch it, buddy.
Oh, well, look, I gotta go. Watch yourself, mister.
help.
Blocking the exit, brother.
I need help.
We all do, brother. We all do.
No, you
Step
don't
aside, brother.
I'm hurt. Dying.
Wages of sin is death, brother. The wages of sin is death. Remember that, brother.
Hey, mister, you better beat it. You can't hang around here all night. You hear me?
Give me 2 tokens.
Yeah.
Go right through, honey.
Yeah.
Oh, we just missed it, Jim. We are always just missing trains.
There'll be another one along in a minute.
Well, what's he
staring at?
Hmm? Who?
Him, that bum. Hey, what are you staring at?
Oh, he's just drunk, honey.
Well, I don't like him staring.
Okay, buddy. You heard the lady. Oh. Hey, what's the matter?
Oh, he's sure carrying the mail.
Yeah, he's looking at us, but he don't see us. Hey, watch it, buddy. Watch it. You're slipping. Let me help you. Hey. Hey, you're hurt, aren't you? Honey, I'd better go get some help.
Come on, Jimmy. We don't want any trouble.
But, honey, this guy's hurt. He's hurt bad.
I know that.
I just can't leave him here.
Look, Jimmy, he's probably a crook or something.
Him? Oh, come on. Be sensible.
I am. And I want you to be sensible. You bother with him, you're going to have to bother with cops, courts maybe, and the newspapers.
Newspapers? You think so?
Sure. Supposing that guy dies, it's sure to get in the paper that you found him, you and me. I don't want my name in the paper, do you?
Oh, but honey, he's hurt.
Do you want your name in the paper?
Well, no, I...
Darling, it wouldn't look too good, would it? Supposing your wife read about it, huh? Now, look, Jim, he's a bum. You gonna throw everything away for a bum?
Oh, I don't know.
Our train's coming. He'll be all right.
But this guy...
Come on.
Look, buddy, I'm sorry.
Oh, he can't hear you? Come on.
Oh, I hate to leave him like this.
What's the matter with you? Was he your brother or something? You don't even know the guy. Don't buy trouble, Jim.
Maybe you're right.
Come on, darling. Come on.
You understand, Mac, don't you?
Help. Help.
In a moment, we continue with the third act of Suspense.
We have, together, ample capacity and freedom to defend freedom. This is NATO, the North Atlantic Treaty Organization. The strategic land area covered by the North Atlantic Treaty is vast and is divided into three major commands in accord with geography and political factors: European, Atlantic Ocean, and Channel commands. Combined, these cover a land and water mass stretching virtually from the North Pole to the Tropic of Cancer, from the coastal waters of North America to those of Europe and Africa. The United States of America is a part of NATO. You should be aware of and alert to the programs and objectives of the North Atlantic Treaty Organization.
And now, starring Skip Homeyer, Act 3 of Subway Stop.
I pushed through the gate, made it to the stairs. I held onto the railing and pulled myself up. 1 step. 2. 3. 4 steps. Couldn't go any further. The pain was too great. I sat down. I looked up at the street. It was morning now, and the sun was streaming into the subway. The day was awakening. People would be going to work. The sun was warm, very warm. I sat there looking at the clouds, the sky, the sun. After a while, I closed my eyes. I could hear people coming down the steps.
Oh, brother, he's got a beaut. Where do they find the money?
Look at him.
Boy, he's sleeping peaceful like a baby.
Oh, for the life of a bum, huh?
Look at his mouth. It's wide
The people of the city going to work, laughing, ignoring me, leaving me to die. I didn't mind any longer. I should have cursed them, shouted out, but I didn't. I couldn't. I felt sorry for them. And then I heard a slow shuffle of feet coming down the steps, coming toward me. I could smell the stench of old wine and beer. I felt rough, calloused hands rub across my cheek. Finally, I heard a voice.
Remember me, mister? You gave me money last night. You was the only one who did. What's the matter, mister? You hurt?
Yes.
You stay there. I'm going to call an ambulance. You stay right there.
I heard him move away, and then, after a few minutes, he came back and sat beside me. He lifted my head and cradled it in his arms. I knew that it was going to be all right. I wanted to thank him.
Don't try and talk, mister. You don't have to say anything.
Thanks.
You don't got to thank me. I got to thank you. You gave me the money. I used your dime for the phone call.
Hey, you two, get out of the way. You bums are always cluttering up the steps.
Mister, my friend and me ain't bums. He's sick and I'm helping him.
Yeah, I ought to call a cop.
You, mister! You're the bum.
Suspense, in which Mr. Skip Homeyer starred in William N. Robeson's production of Subway Stop by Arthur Zagoras. Supporting Mr. Homeyer in Subway Stop were Shirley Mitchell, Virginia Gregg, Barney Phillips, Bill Quinn, Joe DeSantis, Tommy Cook, Jackie Kelk, and Norm Alden. Listen. Listen again next week when we return with 0 Hour, Ray Bradbury's fearful tale of the day the children and Martians took over the Earth, starring the amazing child star Evelyn Rudy. Another tale well calculated to keep you in suspense.
This is the United States Armed Forces Radio and Television Service.